This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here are today's top stories from Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region. Armenia has launched direct passenger flights between the capital Yerevan and the country's strategically important southernmost Syunik region, just days after Azerbaijan opened fire at the long-shuttered airport in the town of Kapan. In a statement, Syunik's regional administration confirmed today the first flight had taken place and said from now on, flights would be scheduled every Monday and Friday. Ticket prices start at around $50. Today's flight comes just days after an unidentified person in Azerbaijani territory fired 3 shots at the Kapan airport, whose runway is located less than 100 meters from the border. The shots damaged one of the airport's windows and roof, according to Armenia's National Security Service. That incident last Friday took place less than 24 hours after Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan visited the airport to tour the facilities ahead of the launch of direct flights. The small airport outside of Kapan first opened in the early 1970s to provide air service to Syunik, but the building fell into disrepair after the Soviet Union's collapse in 1991. The airport has since been renovated, but its location, extremely close to Azerbaijani positions gained in the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, meant that it had remained closed until today. Today's flight took less than an hour, while driving between Yerevan and Kapan along the difficult mountain roads can take more than 5 hours. The Russian peacekeepers deployed to Nagorno-Karabakh have evacuated 41 people to Armenia. The first time Azerbaijan has allowed Russia to use the Lachin corridor in more than 2 months. The evacuees comprised Russian citizens living in Nagorno-Karabakh and young people who had been admitted to universities in Armenia and abroad, according to Nagorno-Karabakh state-run info center. The info center said Azerbaijan did not permit the peacekeepers to drive through its checkpoint on the corridor, forcing the evacuees to walk by foot with their luggage from the checkpoint to the border with Armenia. Today's evacuation marks the first time since mid-June that Azerbaijan has allowed Russia to use the sole overland route connecting Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia. Earlier this month, the International Criminal Court's former chief prosecutor said Azerbaijan's more than 8-month blockade of Nagorno-Karabakh should be considered an act of genocide. The government of Georgia has banned the re-export and transit of automobiles imported from the European Union and United States to Belarus and Russia, a move observers say may devastate Armenia's booming used car business. The ban will also apply to automobiles sent from Armenia to Russia via Georgia, the route used by practically all Armenian car dealers doing business in the world's most sanctioned country. That raises the prospect thousands of people in Armenia may soon lose out on their primary source of income. For that story and more, you can check out the latest edition of CivilNet's weekly business digest, up now on our website and YouTube channel. This year's Pan-Armenian Games concluded over the weekend at Armenia's landmark Garni Temple, after 2 weeks of competition featuring thousands of athletes from dozens of countries around the world. Armenian President Vahagan Khachaturian addressed participants at the closing ceremony over the weekend. In these difficult days for our country, the Pan-Armenian Games are a testimony to the endurance of the collective will and potential of our people, he said. The Pan-Armenian Games are a multi-sport competition held every 4 years to bring together athletes from Armenia and Armenian diaspora communities around the world. This year's competition was held in Gyumri, the first time Armenia's second city hosted the Games. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 7,160. That's the number of athletes who took part in this year's Pan-Armenian Games, according to organizers. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground in Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the region.